think it's weird that it is when you're about to do something meaningful, you're about to change something for yourself, for your life, that is when the devil just comes and just starts plummeting on your mind, and everything feels like the whole world is against you, and you don't even know what is going on with you. You feel depressed, you feel sad, you feel all kind of negative emotions. Does that happen to you? Because if it does, I promise you, been there, done that. That was like my situation this last weekend, and I was able to pull through. And in this video, I'll be sharing with you what I did and how you can also get yourself out of the rut, get yourself out of that depression, so that you can go ahead and achieve the kind of life you want and just be happy. Because life is too short, Why do you want to spend it sad and just frustrated and depressed for no reason? No actual reason. So I've been to a couple of coaching programs and so many of all those things, and the very starting point for all of those programs is usually the mindset. And for a long time, I kept wondering, okay, why is everyone saying mindset? Why does everybody talk about mindset? But not so long ago, it came to me that honestly, everything we try to do in this life, it actually starts from the mind. And if your mind is not right, every other thing is not going to be right. Because even the Bible even said it that, guard your heart with all diligence, because out of there flows all the issues of life. Right? What does that? It means if your mind is not right, if you're not at peace, if you're sad, if you're angry, if you're harboring resentment in your heart, everything is not going to go right for you, because everything comes right here, from right in here. So, you guys, this is officially like the first episode of this podcast, because the podcast is called Unshelved Dreams, and I've shot like a lot of videos that we're supposed to post, but I just realized that it won't be good for me to just go on and launch this podcast without actually sharing this part of my journey in doing all of these things with you guys. Because on a normal day, the podcast is called Unshelved Dreams, and it is dedicated to actually talking about all things achieving your dreams and also attaining financial freedom. But then I realized that you can't walk towards your dream. You cannot achieve financial freedom or financial peace of mind if your mind is not right. And it happens to all of us, because I tell you, it happened to me just a few days ago. And the things that were able to help me to pull out of it, they are not things that I didn't know about before. I already knew about them, because I've studied a whole lot about these things, especially when it has to do with the mind. I've done a lot of studying, but it still happened to me. And I was, everywhere throughout last week. I go anywhere, I can just sit there and I'll just start crying. That kind of bad, crazy crying. Like you just go, very crazy. Like I'll just be in the restroom, and I don't know, all of a sudden, this feeling of depression, of sadness, to just follow me, and I'll start crying. They'll ask me, okay, what is the problem? What is wrong with you? I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, I just feel like crying. Does that happen to you? Is that not crazy? And guess what, guys? I'm in the middle of a lot of exciting things in my life. I just completed writing my book, The Retired Procrastinator, coming next year by God's grace. I finished writing the book. I'm about to launch this podcast. Like I'm planning like a launch party, a launch event. Everything is going okay. Everybody is nice to me at home. I don't have any enemies or frenemies or whatever. And I still couldn't get out of being sad. My husband would look, I'm like, okay, what is going on? I'm like, I don't even know. I just want to cry. It was crazy. And I pray, and I'm like, God, what is going on? What is going on with me? What is the problem? I couldn't shake it off. And one night, like a couple of nights ago, I was sleeping, and that mind was just like, oh, get up, go and read the book. I'm like, read a book in the middle of I just want to sleep, bro. Like, leave me. I want to sleep. I've had the long, stressful day. And this spirit was just like, go on. Go and read the book. And I was like, okay, I'm up anyway, because my baby woke up because he needed milk at that time. So I wasn't feeling sleepy anymore. And the next thing I could do was to just, let me just go to the other room, turn on the lights and read some book, right? Then I started doing any, mini, mani, mo that, okay, what do I read? What am I supposed to read now that the spirit is telling me to go on and read? And my eyes landed on this book. This book is like four combinations of, it's like four books in one, four books in one. And I've had it for a while and I've read it before and it's really, really helped me. I really, I mean, the first time I read the book, look at how much I really highlighted. Like, it's a very good book. And if you watch till the end, I have a beautiful offer for you at the end if you stay and watch. So I went and I'm like, okay, let me just read through, let me see some things. So I went into the second part of the book, which is Your Word is Your Wand, and I started reading and I'm like, okay, this is making sense. So apparently it was really talking about happiness, right? About how happiness is when you have a total control of your emotional being. That is when you can freely tap into that all the time. And I started doing the affirmations and all of a sudden I started asking myself, like, okay, why have you been feeling that kind of, icky feeling all week? And all of a sudden, I started feeling some relief, Then I went and I'm like, okay, let me go back to the part of the book that I'd read before. And the first thing that jumped out to me was I think this is the third chapter. It says, I'm going to read out. So when a man knows his own powers and the workings of his mind, his great desire is to find an easy and quick way to impress the subconscious good, for simply an intellectual knowledge of the truth will not bring results. When I read this, I'm like, okay, this is weird, this is strange. It says, the minute you know the power and workings of your mind, guys, our mind is so powerful. See, a lot of good stuff might be happening in your life. A lot of good things might be happening for you. But honestly, if you do not master your mind, you're not able to control your thoughts, you're not able to just master your emotions, you're going to lose sight of all these good things that are working in your life and you just be focused on what is not there. I was listening to Myron Golden the other day and he said something. He said the very first temptation the devil gives you is the temptation of lack. And it is true. Because you're going to have everything, but your mind will just be really focused on that thing that is not there. I don't know if anybody has ever experienced this kind of situation before. Because that was what I was going through. I wasn't missing anything, but I just couldn't, for the life of me, I could not just get past that negative emotion and negative feeling until I got up in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. and I started reading this book again. And and the crazy thing is that it's not as if I didn't know like all of these things in the Bible. Because in fact, a couple of days back, I saw like a Instagram thread about a lady that went on ChatGPT and was like, oh, devil, if you're trying to stop a woman from pursuing her dreams and all that, how will you stop her? And it was a whole lot of thread where it was like, oh, number one, I'm going to attack her mind. I'm going to make her feel like she's not worthy of anything, imposter syndrome, and all those things. I know of these things. In fact, there's another book that I read, The Power of a Praying Woman, right here. And I've even read this in there before, that life has much suffering, but too often we suffer unnecessarily because of lies we believe about ourselves and our circumstances. And who tells us these lies? Is the devil. Is the one that will come and tell you that, oh, this person does not like you. Oh, this thing you're about to do is not going to be successful. Oh, this thing, I don't think you should be doing it. Is not you're too small. Or this thing is not for you. I knew these things, but I just couldn't bring them out. I could not take myself out of that feeling of dread. I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on. And in the middle of all this, you know what's going to happen? It's going to now stall your work. All the things that you're supposed to be doing, you're not going to be able to focus. And another thing it now does is it will now put resentment in your mind for the people that God has placed in your life that are supposed to help you. My husband, for no reason, did not do anything to me. I was like, just leave me alone. Everybody should just get out. Do you understand? I just had this, it was just bad. And I just realized that this is the devil at work because he knows on the journey to do something great. And of course I will. And the same thing for you too. So whenever you're on your way to do things that can help you to have a major breakthrough, that can bring a major success into your life, that can bring you good health, that can bring you greater peace, greater joy, greater everything good, that is when the devil strikes. And that is the only thing he's able to strike is your mind, because he knows once your mind has been attacked, it is game over. So Our only work now is to not let the devil near our mind. We should be aware. We should know of the antics. We should be ready. We should be ready. I think I want to read one more thing. Right? So, one more thing from this book is when the thoughts that you think begin to question and contradict God's word, you are being set up by your enemy. You know? Because it still comes back to me, because everything in the book Bible, it keeps saying, guard your heart, guard your mind, because out of it flows the issues of life. If you don't get a proper grip on your mind, the devil will just be pushing you like this everywhere, 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 everywhere. And that is what I'm like, okay, I cannot launch a podcast talking about money, talking about financial freedom and achieving dreams without touching on this thing. Because if your mind is not right, nothing else can work. Nothing else will. Right. Yeah, I think I've covered majority of everything. But, okay, yeah, I have like 4 to-dos for us based on this video. Like, the first one is to be aware. Be aware that whenever any crazy thing starts happening, you should know that you're close to a breakthrough. Don't let the devil tell you any lie. Don't let it just make you feel like everything is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Be aware that when you start getting all those feelings, I mean, some people, their issue might be medical or something, I don't know. But for me, what I know is, and I've experienced this like multiple times before, is whenever I'm close to doing something different, whenever, you see, that's when you now have fear. You have fear about everything. There's something about fear in here that, I think I highlighted it. Let me read it out for you guys. Don't forget, I have this nice offer for you if you wait till the end. Gosh, I don't know if I don't think I have it. Anyway, he said something about fear being a wasted energy, but you can redirect and refocus, right? I'm going to look for it and share maybe. Right. So your mind is so important, even as we try to get into conversations about money, about dreams, about goals, about all those things. So that's the first thing, is to be aware that the devil also knows that you are up to something good. So he's not going to let it come to life. And how he can stop it is to attack your mind. Then the second to do here is to treat your mind like a garden. That's I got from this book. I may read that, guys. From this book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Treat your mind like a garden. And that means whatever you want to grow, whatever you feel like you desire for it to grow, that is what you should feed your mind. If you know you don't want fear, don't feed your mind fear. Watch the kind of thoughts you let take root, because the thoughts, they will come. All those thoughts, they're going to come. You can't do anything about it. You can't, right? There's nothing you can do about them. But you have to be aware so that whenever those thoughts start coming, you can take them captive. I'm going to go back to the Bible also says that take every thought captive. Like, quickly check it. Like, okay, do I need you? Do I not? And it's not easy, but it can be done. Treat your mind like a garden. So whatever it is that you want to see grow, that is the only thing you should feed your mind. That is the only thing you should allow take root in your mind. Then the third thing here is to only speak words that support the vision that you see for your life. If you see yourself with breakthrough, if you see yourself with, you cannot be confessing wrong things out of your mouth, because back to the Bible again, it says, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And also there is power in the tongue, in the words. Your words carry so much weight. In fact, in this book, there's something about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. That's a whole different conversation for another day. I think I'm going to make a video about it, and it's going to come after this one. Only speak words that support and align the vision that you see for your life. Even if everything is going crazy. That night, when I went to read the book, you see, in the book as well, there's a lot of affirmations as well. When I started reading those affirmations, I felt that relief. I'm a kind of person that just do my life. I don't really, affirmation, manifestation, they're not really, I want to believe they work, but they are not really things that I really focus on so much, right? But that night, as I read all those affirmations, I felt that, because I was hearing myself. Because at the end of the day, the only listener that is closest to you is yourself. Because you can even be in a conversation with someone else and you're talking to them and they cannot even hear you. They tuned off. Maybe they're watching something or they are thinking about something else, so they can't hear you. But when you speak, you hear yourself. So whatever you want to take fruit in your life, whatever you want to see, whatever you want to see in your life, whatever you want, that's what you should keep saying to yourself so that you can hear it and so that it can register in your mind. So only speak words that support the life you envision for yourself. Then the last one is to remember number 1 to 3 every time. And this advice also goes to me because I'm sharing today doesn't mean that tomorrow that kind of feeling is not gonna come, or it's not gonna, they might still hear it said. But remember number 1 to 3, which is to be aware, treat your mind like a garden. Then the third one is to actually speak words that support the vision that you see for your life. And yeah, I think that's everything I have today. So don't forget, if you really enjoyed this video, it's a full podcast that we're launching very soon. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, recommend to your friends, share, and let's learn together, and and there's going to be a lot of freebies as well, because I love to give gifts. But what I love to give are books, right? So also, you can also watch the next video on how to use your mind for good. So I'm going to make that video as a sequel to this one. And I'll see you. Yeah, before I forget, I intend to give away 10 copies of this book. It's like 4 books in one, and it's the complete works of Florence Kovoshin. The book is really good, really helped me. It's blessed me a whole lot of times before. So if you're interested in the book, make sure you comment, like, share, and follow me on Instagram as well at Renny Billions, because I'm pretty active on there. Yeah. And you might just be lucky to get a copy of this book from me, especially if you live in the US. Because if you live outside of the US, I don't know, it might just take some time to get it, but you get it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So today I just really feel like yeah. Just let it know that no, darling, no, not this time.